It was really a different experience giving birth here in Canada. Compare a lot of wounds to heal. It's just this. Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. My name is Kimmy. My family and I landed here in Canada as permanent residents last December of 2022. We came here as a family of 3, and after a year and a half, we are now a family of 4. And with that, I'm going to share with you my experience when I gave birth to my second child on what's it like to give birth here in Canada. A little reference on that one, my due date was July 5, but I had my maternity leave a month earlier than my due date because before the day I took my maternity leave, I really haven't prepared anything yet. We already bought everything that we think we needed, but most of it are still in their boxes and in their packaging. I was also getting some random contractions here and there by that time, so I was expecting to give birth earlier than my due date. I was thinking I would be giving birth towards the end of June, but baby had other plans and came out earlier than when I was expecting. On the night of June 18, we were having dinner around 7 p.m. I think. I started to feel the contractions already, but I actually have a problem with contractions. Not that I can't handle it, but it's the other way around. I have a high pain tolerance, so I really don't know the difference of a normal contraction versus the painful labor contraction, as they say. I actually had the same problem with my first child. I didn't know that I was already in labor. I didn't know that those were contractions. Those that I was feeling were contractions already. So yeah, it took me a while before I went to the hospital. And yeah, with that experience, with this pregnancy, I was paying more attention to what I am feeling. I'm just trying to be more aware of what I was feeling. So yeah, with those contractions, I downloaded an app to record the intervals of it. It started to be 30 minutes apart, and then by 10 p.m. or so, the interval went down to 5 to 10 minutes. I was able to still take a bath, and it wasn't that painful yet, but I can feel that those were contractions already. I was able to sleep through it until I think it was around 2 a.m. when I woke up and I went to the washroom to pee. The contractions were around 3 to 5 minutes apart already. It was the pain was gradually increasing. The pain is there, but it was still manageable at this point. I was able to take naps in between those contractions. I just keep waking up whenever the contraction is there, and then after the contraction I can sleep. The timer is on, but yeah, I'll wake up. Yeah, you get it. But yeah, around 3 a.m. it was already painful. So I talked to my husband. He asked me if I can still manage. I still can at that point, so we then agreed to wait until at least 8 a.m. or until my daughter is ready to go for school. But at that time, the pain kept increasing, the intervals were getting shorter. I was already doing those birthing growls or moans or noise or whatever you call it, the thing that you do when you regulate your breathing of some sort. But yeah, with my stubborn self, we didn't go yet. It took us another hour before we went to the hospital. And so we finally went to the hospital. In my records, our check-in time was 4:30 a.m. Anyway, when we got to the parking lot of the hospital, the contractions were really painful. I managed to walk towards the entrance of the hospital, but good thing there were wheelchairs when we entered, so I was wheeled by my husband to the labor and delivery area. After checking in, they took me to this room and got my vitals. After the vitals, they transferred me to the delivery suite, asked me to put on the gown, asked if I would like to have an epidural. I said yes, because I had it with my first child, and even if I have a high pain tolerance, I still want to mellow it down. So they paged the anesthesiologist, but that time I was already in real pain. When the doctor checked on my dilation, I was already at 7 to 8 centimeters. So she said, let me just prepare you might be giving birth soon. Just let me know when your water pops. So, moments after she stepped out, my water popped, and everyone rushed up to set up the bed for the bed for delivery. They told me, when you feel the next contraction, you need to start pushing, baby. So, at that point, epidural is out of the picture. We are going rogue. And yeah, the moment I felt that big contraction, I did the pushing. It took me a few pushes before the baby was out. Just before 6 a.m. that day, June 19, baby was out. So yeah, at 37 weeks, our second baby girl, Kaylee Adeline, was born. She was a fluffy little dumpling, and she was weighing 3.5 kilograms when she came out. While I was stitched up, my husband had his sweet time of skin to skin with our baby. The stitching part was the worst feeling that I felt since I had no epidural. I felt all the pokes and the glides of the thread. They applied numbing spray and gave me laughing gas, but I still felt everything. I actually can handle the pain of contractions and pushing a baby out more than the stitching. Yeah, this may be TMI, but for the moms out there, you'd know this. I had 30-degree tear plus a few cuts around the area. So there was a lot of stitching done. And there were a lot of wounds to heal. This was the birthing suite where I gave birth. Our sweet baby is in my arms. I'm having my breakfast and I'm talking to my mom on the phone. I didn't even bother to tie my hair properly. I remember I was just really starving at that time. We were transferred to a smaller suite in the afternoon. I was told that the suite where I gave birth is for urgent care or high-risk patients. The room was bigger compared to the regular birthing suites. Room transfers are not usually done. Usually where you give birth is where you stay until you get discharged. I was just brought onto the first room to give birth since it is the closest to the nurse's station, and I was really about to give birth when we got to the hospital. Everything was normal for both me and baby. No complications. We were both healthy, so it was okay for us to be transferred onto a regular room. We stayed in the hospital for 2 days and 1 night. Here in Canada, you have to stay in the hospital for at least 24 hours after giving birth. Your baby will have to take the newborn screening on the 24th hour. And if baby's vitals are all okay and mommy is okay, both of you will be discharged the next day. Or, yeah, after the 24th hour. If there are any findings, the result will be sent to, with the tests, if there are any findings, the result will be sent to your family doctor, or you will be contacted if there is a need to reschedule for another testing or assessment. For the hearing assessment though, you will know right away if your baby passes the test right after they do it. It was really a different experience giving birth here in Canada compared to the Philippines. We never had to pay anything. We just went to the hospital and we got discharged the next day. The only thing we spent on was the coffee and dad's food because I had my food. They actually give you brewed coffee for breakfast, but I want the unnecessarily expensive coffee, if you know what I mean. I actually didn't drink coffee for the whole duration of my pregnancy, so I was just really excited for a good strong iced coffee after giving birth. So yeah, I think those were just the expenses that we had. Anyway, after giving birth, moms and babies are provided with follow-up care at home. A nurse will visit you at home. A nurse visited us at home. I gave birth June 19, discharged at June 20, and had a nurse come to our house on June 21st. So, with the home visits, the nurse will check both mom and baby's vitals to make sure everything is okay. We had 2 home visits. The second one was after 2 days after the first visit because sweet little Kaylee was in the medium risk of jaundice. They had to make sure that baby is good and out of the risk before they cleared us out of the list. I truly, truly appreciate that they check up on mom if there are any signs of postpartum depressions. At least for the nurses that visited me, both of them were very caring and very uplifting. Something that amazed me really is on how they handle the health records. The information was centralized. The nurses that checked on us have the history of our records, or yeah, the passing of the information was efficient. That just makes everything easy. They also, when they visit you, they also have all the equipment that they need. They come prepared. They always come prepared. They bring the full-size baby weighing scale and all the medical tools, apparatus, whatever you call them, whatever they need to do their charts, to do their charts, and when they visit you. Well, if you come to think of it, it's just a simple yet effective admin system that is in place here. But coming from the Philippines, where you have to pay thousands and thousands, sometimes close to $1 million or more, just to get the same level of healthcare, it's just this is just different. What we experienced here is just different. It is far from what we are used to. That's why this experience truly amazes me. We knew that the healthcare system here in Canada is one of the best in the world, and that was one of the many reasons why we chose to migrate. So we actually know that for a fact before getting here. But I tell you, experiencing it firsthand, it's absolutely amazing. And what makes it more amazing is everything's free. We didn't need to pay anything. In addition to that, I just also want to share, maternity checkups were free. Laboratory tests, including ultrasounds, are also free as long as you have your doctor's request or referral. Actually, the day that I gave birth, I actually had an appointment to see our family doctor, which was also my OBGYN. But since I gave birth, that didn't happen anymore. And I was also scheduled to get another ultrasound for baby's measurement towards the end of the week, because at 36 weeks, during my ultrasound, baby was at 96th percentile. So yeah, she was a big baby inside the belly. My doctor was actually worried that she may be too big to come out vaginally. So yeah, but yeah, those didn't push through because I already gave birth earlier than both appointments. So I gave birth at 37 weeks, and on my 36th week doctor's appointment, we were already given a printout of my checkup history for admission, just in case I give birth early, which already happened. We were instructed to hand it in as we check in at the hospital. So I had that prepared in my hospital bag. I told my husband to just pull it on this pocket and then give it when we check in, because I was thinking I would be in pain. But yeah, and that's what happened. So once I was checked in, there's really nothing that we did more other than bring ourselves to the hospital. I just filled out a form. After I gave birth, I just filled out a form to process baby's birth certificate, health card, and social insurance number. Although once your baby is born, once a baby is born here in Canada, they are automatically assigned of their health card number. But yeah, you just need to fill out those forms so that they can process everything. And then not the hospital though. They send it to whatever office that processes it. Before you check out, before you are discharged, you will be given a bunch of papers with guidelines on how to take care for baby and postpartum care for mom. They will discuss everything to you. You will also be instructed to schedule an appointment with your family doctor within 7 days for your baby and 7 to 10 days for mommy. That's all for the wellness checkup. You will also be given a medicine pack with pain relievers and vitamins or whatever meds that you were given when you were admitted. They will be sending a pack home with you of those medications to complete the whole period of, what do you call that? The duration when you should take those medications. I don't know, whatever it's called. I don't know the term, but yeah, they'll give you the complete package to complete the cycle, if that's a term. I was also referred to see a physiotherapist for recovery. And yes, you guessed it right. It was also free. The physiotherapy was also free. Looking back after giving birth, I'm just so thankful that we did not have to think about budgeting for childbirth. It was like a weight off of our shoulders. It was a responsibility. We don't mind paying for it, but it was just a good thing that we don't have to think of it, right? Moving your whole family to a different country, as good as it sounds, as good as it seems, it is far from being easy. But having this kinds of benefit just proves that our decision to migrate here is more than worth it. Yes, we pay taxes and benefits are just basically money from the taxes, but hey, at least you know that your taxes goes full circle. It goes back to you. It goes back to the people. Yeah. Needless to say, we are definitely grateful that we had this opportunity and we took this opportunity to move here. Okay, let's end the vlog here before I cry. My postpartum self is still a little delicate on that emotional side. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them below. And please subscribe to my channel. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!